Alright, hello Joe, welcome back my friend. Hey guys, just wanted to go ahead and let you know live streaming of the Moonshine is continuing tonight. I didn't even update my Twitch yesterday. I did not do live streaming of the Moonshine last night. Haven't been feeling really well. Hopefully I can do this for part 4. I want to get back into Panzer Hearts and finish it up. Yeah, I've been feeling really nauseated the past day and a half or so. So, with that, guys, we're going to jump back into Panzer Hearts where I left off from my YouTube replay. Again, we pretty much just left the park. We had a good time with, I can't even remember her name, our friend from the tank factory. I'll remember it as soon as I see it, but I'm terrible with names anyway. But then you talk about weird names in a visual novel. Yeah, I can't remember. Alright, so let's go ahead and load in. And we had just left the park and we came home and we hadn't done anything with Mom yet, and that's pretty much where I left off. Astrid, there you go. See, Joe remembers. Joe has a better memory than I do. Yeah, but Astrid was the one, our imagination went wild at the park, and I don't really know why. I don't know if that's some kind of foreshadowing. You'd have to go back and look at that. But yeah, we just imagined that she was like this demon and eating the heads off the statues, and the statues were alive and blood was everywhere, and her eyes were evil, and she looked like she was gonna rip her soul out. And then all of a sudden we snapped back into reality, and there she was, all cute and cuddly and everything like that. So I wonder if that's some kind of clue as to maybe something that's gonna happen. Maybe our heart, I was wondering in that moment if maybe our heart is actually, always thinking about that daughter, instead. Maybe there's a reason we're always thinking about that other girl. So I don't know. Maybe our heart's trying to lead us a different direction than where common sense would tell us to go with a tank factory girl. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see. Oops. Alright, so anyway, we just got home from the park, and nothing's happened yet with Mom. And when I get home, I find Mom at her usual place next to the table. The sight brings me down from a dreamy high faster than a meteoroid falling to Earth. Yeah, oh, I heard a cough. Wow, did you hear that cough, Joe? Do I need to turn the volume up a little bit on the game? Let me know. Yeah, let me know if you can hear the music well. And like if you heard her cough. Yeah, Mom lets out a painful cough and shudders. Uh-oh, that can't be good. Where have you been? Oh, she looks mad. You heard the cough? Okay, thanks, ma'am. Let me turn it up just a tad. Because this music is really good. I want you guys to hear the music and stuff. Where have you been? How am I supposed to live here when you come and go as you please? Yeah, she does not look happy, does she? I have neither the energy nor the will to pay any attention to her. Oh man, that's sad because that's your mother. Sure, she's angry, but she's often angry. I go straight to my room and fall on my bed, so he doesn't even respond to Mom. That's like a complete lack of respect. When you're the only kid she has left, the only thing she has left in life, and she's trying desperately to cling to you in her final years, and yeah, she's upset because you weren't home, again. And granted, I'm an adult, but she misses you. I'm sure she's not angry because you weren't home. She's angry because she never gets to spend any time with you. That's probably what it is, I'm just saying. And now you're ignoring her. And I go straight to my room and I fall on my bed. I mean, I understand his point here, but, I can kind of see the bigger picture. When you play a visual novel like this, I think Joe can agree. You can kind of see the bigger picture. Like, dude, show your mother some respect, man. But yeah, this happens all the time in families and relationships and stuff like that. And you don't see it until you're on the outside looking in. That's why I like this visual novel, guys, is because this visual novel is so plausible. It makes sense. It's not something off the wall. It definitely, it fits, it fits real life. It's really plausible and believable. I lie down and think of my afternoon with Astrid. So I'm not thinking about Mom, thinking about this afternoon with Astrid. So I mean, we're all like that. We're all selfish. I just feel like he's gonna lose his mom. I have a feeling he's gonna lose his mom in this visual novel, and then he's gonna have a lot of guilt. It's the best one I've seen on your channel so far. Wow, yeah, it's been pretty good. I lie down and think of my afternoon with Astrid. By the light of Hather, I really didn't see that coming. Astrid. I didn't think she would be so emotional. She seems like such a tough girl. But those kind of things are hard to see beforehand. One minute she's building tanks, and the next she's eating ice cream and crying about the harshness of war. Yeah, she kind of did let down her guard about how scared she is about the war, and she's afraid, and she kind of showed that she was vulnerable to me in that part. How is the war affecting us? I never thought about the killing before. It's been necessary for the survival of the Empire. But now that Astrid mentioned it, could it be wrong? Could the war be wrong? I lie in the bed for a long time, struggling to fall asleep, and when I finally do, I have a terrible nightmare. In the dream, Astrid is swimming in an endless pool of blood. Here we go again. She is screaming for help, but I can't move. All I can do is just watch her drown in a pool of blood. And then I wake up. Man, that sounds like a horrible nightmare. After falling back asleep, I'm back on the battlefield again. All around me are comrades, and they're being hit by bullets and shells. And again, I'm frozen in place. And all I can do is watch them die. Man, he's having some terrible nightmares, ain't he, about the war? This is what you call post-traumatic stress disorder, though. I think this is kind of symptoms of it. The worst thing is, when I look at them, they have no faces. They're faceless, nameless creatures whose only duty is to die. Wow. That's pretty deep right there, guys. I mean, yeah, this is why I like well-written visual novels, because this is more than just a bad dream. I mean, this is kind of making a point. You know, when soldiers for your country go into war, you know, they become just what he's saying in his dream here. They become, their personalities are lost in the war. Who they are is lost in the war. And much like, you know, people that work for a big corporation, you know, to the people that pay them, the higher ups, they're just a number. When people go into a war, all their personalities are lost. Everything is lost. People go into war and they come home and they return home after a stressful war, and they try to get their relationships back with their wife, with their kids, and stuff like that. And all too often, it's so sad, but they can't, because they've completely changed, and their loved ones, their family, their wife, their kids, they don't even know who the hell it is that returns from war. They can be a completely different person. In a way, their kids and their wife are like, who the hell is this? This guy's a fucking asshole. You know, where's the guy that I fell in love with? Because war changes people. And I think this right here is kind of saying that, you know, you go into war and you lose everything. You're just a robot fighting a war. Think of it like, you know, you're playing a video game. You're playing Command & Conquer. You're playing a war game, and you're outlining the soldiers that you want to do this and do this task, and you're the commander in this video game. And soldiers are nothing more than an AI doing what they're told to do, and going and putting their life on the line to try to accomplish a certain task for the war. It really is sad. Yeah, war can change people. It can change families. It can mess people up. And that's not even considering the post-traumatic stress disorder part of it. I don't dare fall asleep after that. So now he's had a dream of Astrid, his good friend from the tank factory, drowning in a pool of blood. Um, and then after that, he dreamt of soldiers, faceless soldiers, back in the war, dying and getting shot, and he can't move. He's just motionless and has to watch, hear the screams and the people dying. It's hard, man. I can almost feel this guy's pain. Instead, I keep thinking, what are we fighting for? Why are we fighting? The final victory, the Empire's control over the whole world. That's why we're fighting, power. I know that justifies everything, but Astrid's tear-stricken face keeps appearing on my mind. I wake up the next morning and after finally having a little sleep without any nightmares, Mom's already in her usual spot, and I give up on breakfast. Instead, I try to sneak past her as quickly as I can. I'm nearly at the door when she spots me. Bastian, where are you going? I'm going to work, Mom, like I do every morning. Oh, I see. Another cough. She breaks into another fit of coughing. That can't be good. Are you okay, Mom? I'm fine, Bastian. Okay, well, I'm off to work. Bye. Goodbye, my son. Yeah, I'm worried about his mom. A prick of guilt hits me as I grab my bike, but I had to just get out of there. Nowadays, Mom just makes me anxious. She's like a living dead, and it just irritates me. As I have some extra time, I take a little detour and bike past the cinema, Frederick's Gate, and the Marchbrunnen Park. In my mind, I see fighter planes firing cannons over Frederick's Gate, tanks rolling over the Marchbrunnen Park and smashing the statues into pieces. Man, this is really getting to him. Could something like that happen? Could our great city be destroyed? The greatness of Thieber is evident. Seeing the city and its magnificent architecture has always made me feel like I'm part of something bigger, like I belong somewhere, like there's something greater, something pure. But can something achieved by violence be pure? I learned in the youth program that blood, soil, and the gods are foundations of our great nation. From pure ingredients arise the might and wealth of our empire. But if the purity is lost... I arrive at the factory and go to the assembly hall. Oh, what's this mess again? How could the night shift be so dirty? Han said they're lower-class citizens. Why would they be allowed to work in the factory if that's the case? There is nothing less decisively important work. This is nothing less than decisively important work for the final victory. It's not suited for those kinds of people. Hi, Bastian, what's wrong? You seem really agitated. Yeah, I am. Why is this place a mess again? How are we supposed to create the means to our final victory when our facilities aren't respected the slightest little bit? What are the lower class workers doing here? Bastian, everyone has a part to play in our great empire. You shouldn't question the decisions of our leadership like that, especially not so loudly. It's not proper conduct. Or do you want to get in trouble? No, that's not what I meant. I'm just saying they're hindering the machinery of the Empire. Isn't that a great problem? Bastian, instead of complaining, you could have already started cleaning up this mess. Less questions and more work. Come on. But I have a point here, you know? Do you understand, mechanic? Yes, I understand. His face. Yeah, he's not happy. Good, now get to work. Why isn't he listening to me? This is so stupid. He sounds like he was brainwashed in Germany during World War II. Yeah, it does sound like that, Joe. Good point. Angrily, I kick a turret piece. and it really, really hurts. Those bastards. I grab my toe, hopping on one foot, and stumble over another tank piece. Ouch, now I fell down. My balance has betrayed me again. It all happened so fast, I don't have time to react before my head hits the floor. Ow. Man, Bastian's just going through hell right now. Stars shoot across my vision. My mind blurs, and I faint. Oh no. I wake up to my head hurting like it was devoured by Amit. From the floor, something catches my eye, something nestled snugly inside of a broken caterpillar track. Oh, wow. I grab it. It's soft and pull it out. A rugged toy bear? Oh, man. It's sticky, it's covered in grease and in blood. Wow, this is a very emotional visual novel. I mean, even this is kind of getting at me and tugging my heartstrings here. What the hell is he doing here? Why would a kid play with such a disgusting toy? Yuck. I throw the bear away as far as possible, and I get up. It's a bit of a task after hitting my head so damn hard, but I try to manage to stand with a slight struggle. I sigh. The room is still a mess, damn it. I start cleaning. Okay, just some small stuff left, and that cursed bear. How did it even get here? I'm glad I got it all done before Hans showed up. Sorry guys, I keep hitting the right mouse button like a nincompoop. Anyway, so he gets it all done before Hans shows up. I've got it covered. Alright, go get some lunch now, you hard worker, you. Yes, sir. The noise of the cafeteria hits me like a wall, and my head starts to throb. My gaze drifts to the officer's lounge, and I notice Kontar, and to my surprise, he waves me over. I head to the lounge and hesitantly open the door. I don't think I'm supposed to be in here. Bastian, how are you, my good boy? Colonel, I'm fine, sir. I just cleaned an assembly hall of the mess left by the night shift. The officers trade awkward looks. I shouldn't have said that. Well done, mechanic. Look, just don't mention the night shift in here, okay? It ruins our appetite. And the officer says, yeah, don't feel like eating when you have to think about how rotten they are. Dismissed, Bastian. And he dismissed me quick. Yes, sir. I leave the officer's lounge and head straight out of the cafeteria. I don't feel like eating anymore. I need some air. I burst outside and lean against the rough factory wall, gasping. After a few seconds, I start to calm down. I gaze up and see birds in the sky sailing around without a care. It's a sunny day once you get past the smoke. When the birds fly past the sun, it's almost like they disappear. What is that wonderful scent? And Nefer comes in. Hello, Bastian. Nefer, hello. I wasn't expecting to see you here. I was just taking a breather. I had a busy morning. Is everything okay? You seem troubled. Oh, I'm fine. Just a hard day at work. What are you doing here? I came to see my daddy. I need money for a new dress. Oh boy. Well, what's wrong with the dress you're wearing now? You look so good in it. Oh, silly. It's for an audition tomorrow. The director of The Great Love wants me in his new film. Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations, Never. Thank you, Bastian. I gotta go now. See you later. Nefer starts to leave, but I don't want her to. Not yet. Nefer, wait. Would you like to do something fun later today? Or that's what I said, sorry. Would you like to do something fun later today? Well, Sure, I suppose. What do you want to do? How about a walk along Victory Avenue? That sounds delightful. How about 5 o'clock? Yeah, I'll see you then. Alright, see you, soldier boy. Rest of the day passes without any further incidents. I do some more cleaning and run some errands. I don't even see Astrid, even though I went looking for her. I wonder where she is. I get to Victory Avenue a few minutes early. It's a curious place. Statues of former emperors, characters from old tales, prominent soldiers from different eras, and of course, gods line the walk. I sit against a statue of Anubis and enjoy the sun on my face. Ah, she's got that new dress, huh? Bastian! How do you like my new dress? I put it on just for you. Ooh. Oh, baby. This is the same one I'll use tomorrow for the audition. Wow, she's going to risk messing up her new dress for her audition just to show it to me? She must think quite a bit of me. Nefer spins on her toes, her dress lifting up a bit, and it's already short. Damn, showing that skin of them legs, almost the skin of her hips, huh? As it lifts up a bit when she spins. Yeah, we know what's going through his mind. That sight and the fact that I could already sense the alluring scent of Nefer make my body react immediately. Exactly. And I'm quite sure I fail to hide it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what does that mean, Joe? What does that mean? The sight, the smell of her alluring scent make my body react immediately, and I'm quite sure I fail to hide it. Yeah, this isn't going. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Joe. Do I say it looks great? Or I liked your old one better? No. No, we're going to say it looks great. Nefer is happy with your answer. Nefer flashes a wide smile and does another spin. Oh boy. Thank you, Bastian. You always dress so well, especially compared to the factory workers I spend most of my time with. Ooh, ouch! Was that a stab at Astrid? I think it was a stab at everybody, but yeah, you could see that as a stab at even Astrid, because she's a factory worker. What's that statue? Why is he holding his hand up like that? He looks silly. Huh. This one? Oh, Albert the Bear. He does look kind of silly, I have to admit. Kind of like our Albert the architect, the one building our great new Theber. He's become so close to the Emperor that he has a lot of power now. Dang it. Yes, I heard some people talking about it. That an architect shouldn't have that much influence over the Emperor. Luckily, we don't have to worry about it, as the Emperor knows what is best for the Empire. That is true. We must place our unwavering trust on the Emperor. Long live the Empire. Long live the Emperor. Let Anubis guide our way. It feels a bit off saluting the Empire in such an informal occasion. Nefer must really be devoted to the cause. But so are we all. This is a funny place. It's so full of history, it feels like we stepped back into the past. Unlike the Citizens Hall, that'll feel like we jumped into the future. It'll be an impressive building, truly a symbol of our greatness. Citizen Hall. There, 180,000 people will be able to hear the Emperor speak. That's amazing. I can't wait for the war to be over so we can finally move on with our lives. But the war's also giving us great opportunities. And the audition tomorrow, I'm going to do a fight scene with another actor. I get to wear a uniform and carry a gun. Isn't that cool? Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the war is so much fun. I just think of the battle I took part in. I was hit by a bullet that came from a gun that I didn't even see. All I was trying to do was run for my damn life. I couldn't do anything. It just feels so random. Oh, Bastian, war is war. War is tough. It's not supposed to be fun. They need strong soldiers who are ready to give up their lives for the Empire. You did the right thing, and you lived. You should be happy about that, not complaining about how rough it was. It's tough for everybody. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess the injury did something to me. I haven't been quite the same since. It feels like I lost something. I don't feel so secure anymore. Well then, snap out of it! You can't stay stuck in the past. You have to be strong. Can our country survive if we tolerate weakness? Nefer's being very harsh. I feel like I can't even be honest without being criticized. How am I supposed to talk to her? You have to understand, Nefer. You've never experienced war. You haven't felt it, the fear, the smell of guns, the smell of blood, the sound of a gun behind you, and the short moment before you realize you've been hit with a bullet. And how about the soldiers who happen to take a different hit from a grenade launcher? It's impossible to recognize them afterwards. Maybe I shouldn't even talk about it. But I think many of my comrades were afraid too. Nobody just wants to show it. And you think it's easy here then? You think it's easy going through rationing? You think it's easy to hear every day how you should work tirelessly for the home front? I have worked so hard to get where I am now. I've been through so many auditions, I can't even count them anymore. And you know what I hear the most? That I don't look happy enough. That I don't seem careless enough to make the viewer feel like he can relax for a while. I'm an actress. I should be able to make the viewer take away from his tough everyday life. Maybe it's a soldier who gets to see a movie before going to his last battle, but it's a wife waiting for her husband to come home. You don't think there's fear on the home front as well? I have trained every day to become better, to be able to better help people in my own way. Now I'm finally so close. And I'm going to enjoy it, damn it, whether you think it's good or not. Oh, Nefer, I'm sorry. I never thought about it like that. I guess I was so focused on myself and my own fears that I forgot about the bigger picture. Hey, we were just talking about the bigger picture earlier. Like in your last film, at the end of it, when the man flies away and the woman is letting him go, both of them made a big sacrifice. Yes, they are. And you know what? I've had my tough phase as well. I struggled a lot with auditions until I realized I had to fit a role. In my case, it's obvious because I'm an actress, but we all play a role in some way. We all play a large part of a large machine, turning the tide of history. History is making its biggest turn ever right now. We are building an empire that will decide the future of the human race. We are part of that big machine. We all play a role, and that decides whether we will succeed or not. Do you feel the same way, Bastian? Joe's like, I don't like Nefer. Yeah, she's being kind of harsh to him. It sounds like she's being honest, though. At least she ain't bullshitting him. That's the worst thing about people, is when they bullshit you. You know? Like, I would rather have a woman be honest and tell me her real feelings, if that's the case with Nefer. So I kind of excuse her for that, because it sounds like she's being really honest. Kind of like I was, you know? I was being honest about my fear with the war, and she's just being honest right back and saying, hey, you know, everybody plays a role. You're not the only one that's fearing the war, that has had troubles and stuff like that. You know, you're not the only one with a hard life here. There's other people, including me, that are going through hell right now. It's not just the people on the war front. And she does have a good point with that. You think it's not hard on the wives and the kids. You know, the wives staying home or raising the kids all by themselves for years, worrying every day that their, you know, the man is out there getting killed. That'd be really hard as well. It might be even harder in some ways. So, do I understand? Yes, I do. I'm going to play my part in the final victory. Being parts in a machine, it all seems wrong to me. Shouldn't we be individuals too? I don't think I'm going to suck up to her. She's taking her stand. I think I'm going to take what he probably feels is his stand too. It seems like a more plausible answer. This is probably the correct answer by kind of kissing into her. But I'm going to be a little bit defensive here. And I think he probably might be, especially with his feelings and everything that's going on. So I'm going to say, being parts in a machine, it just seems wrong to me. Shouldn't we be individuals too? Nefer did not appreciate that. Yeah, I figured that wasn't the right answer, but... Sure, we're individuals, but what really matters is our value in how we contribute to the greater cause. Well, when you put it that way, it's hard to argue against it. Don't worry about it. You shouldn't think so much. Your instincts will tell you what's right. I'm very happy I've been able to keep working after my injury. I was so afraid I wouldn't be able to serve the Empire anymore. Your father, he really saved me. Yes, my father. He's a great man. Listen, Bastian, I have to tell you something. What is it, Nefer? I just feel this is maybe something I should tell you. It is, as you have become such good friends with him, I think you should know. Uh-oh. Suddenly, Nefer seems really anxious. Oh, what is it? Now I'm getting worried. Just tell me, please. You need to promise you won't tell anyone. I am not Kontar's real daughter. Oh. I'm from Pastelia. During the Grand War, the Empire's army attacked my village. My parents died in an artillery barrage that hit our home. Oh, man. Kontar found me in the ruins, and I was just a baby, and I was all alone. Kontar saved me, and he's raised me as his own daughter. Wow, what a man, huh? He's always been so kind to me, and I felt like I truly am his daughter. He even gave me a noble name so I wouldn't stand out from the other upper-class children. I don't even know what my name was before. All that said, I still have this fear that I'm not real, you know? Wow. That's gotta shock him. Joe says, but there is a big difference between getting shot and not getting a role. Yeah, true. Not getting a role for a movie. Yeah, true. Putting your life on the line. Oh, she's crying. Now she's crying. Kontar's a man I respect. Yeah, especially after that. Could you imagine? Especially in those days, to go in and see a baby in the ruins and pick the baby up and raise it as your own daughter. I mean, she owes her life to him, basically. Yeah, she's crying now. I guess that's a lot of tears. That's not just a teardrop. That's like a waterfall of, looks like a waterfall of tears coming out of both eyes. That's what it looks like. That's not the best art I've ever seen, but I think it demonstrates she's crying her heart out right now. Nefer, but you are real. You are, oh, so very real. Even if you're not his biological daughter, you're still real. You are socially his daughter, and that is just as real. Yes, but my true parents, they were from the East. I have different blood running through my veins. I have lower class blood. Oh. Remember how Bastian was just bitching about the lower class who work the graveyard and leave a mess for him every morning? That's gotta sting. Now Nefer, this woman that he thinks is so freaking beautiful and can't get his mind off of, is actually from the lower class. Wow. Things that make you go, ow. Damn. Now I see why I should... And then he mentioned it to Kotar. in the at lunch. He went in their mess and he mentioned it to Kotar. The lower class made a mess again. That's his daughter, dude. Yeah, it makes you realize that sometimes even when something's really bothering you, if you don't know, you might just want to keep your damn mouth shut. Nefer's next role is Braveheart. Braveheart was such a good film. I love that movie. So anyway, I have different blood running through my veins. It's the lower class blood, because she's from the East. Does that make me less real? Ow. I'm stunned. Nefer is the brightest flower of the whole empire. She looks like she's a member of the old bloodline dating all the way back to our original home in the south. She acts in a noble manner and speaks correctly. She has the right name, the right kind of clothing, and the right kind of family. And her scent, it's gotta be a sign of her purity and cleanliness. How could she at the same time be a lower class citizen like the people from the East? Bastian, please answer me. Do you really think it doesn't matter that I'm from the East? Nefer, I'm sorry, I've never talked about these kinds of things. It's not normal to talk about these kinds of things. What about the war and the conquesting of Eastern territory for living space? That's my original homeland. But I cannot call it home anymore. Not ever. I don't really know what to say. I don't think there's anything wrong with you. There is a visible fear in Nefer's eyes. I need to try to reassure her more. And you bring so much joy to people with your acting and your energetic spirit. You certainly don't have any... You certainly don't in any way seem like you're not a true citizen of the Empire. Everyone thinks you're the daughter of the great colonel. There's no way anyone would ever believe otherwise. Nefer looks at me, pain relief on her face. Oh, you're right. That's a different face. Now she's smiling. Oh, you're right. You're perfectly right. This soothes me. Come on. Let's take that walk down the Avenue of Montu. We exit the Victory Avenue and enter a much larger avenue of Montu, surrounded by all sides by construction. Marble and straight lines as far as the eye can see. Some of the buildings are ready, some only have their foundation laid. In the distance, a huge construction site is visible, dwarfing all others. When are they going to finish this triumph arc? And did the Emperor really move the bodies of the Grand War soldiers there? There are 2 million of them? Wow. Why would the Emperor lie about it? He's the one who got us out of the Depression after the Grand War. He has saved our empire, Bastian. He is building an everlasting peace of prosperity. He has absolutely no reason to lie to his people. He loves us. The Emperor lives for his people. Blood and soil, you know. The Emperor wants to show that the men in the previous war didn't die for nothing. Even though the lower classes stabbed us in the back at that time and brought us temporary misery, we have risen again. And we will not be brought to our knees like that again. Not ever. A wave of unease hits me. How can Nefer move so quickly from being a vulnerable girl from Pastelia to the devout, patriotic, and confident actress of the Empire? Yeah, the snap of her fingers. Yeah, she's very emotional for sure. Now she's smiling. You must be right. Do you ever get the feeling things aren't as they seem? Like, that there are some things we're not supposed to talk about? Official secrets, you know? Nefer looks at me, obviously confused. She rubs her arm uneasily. What do you mean? Isn't that what we see? Wait a minute, isn't what we see the real world? Isn't that arc very real? Aren't the people working there very real? Isn't the might of our empire very real, Bastian? Yes, all those things are real. I was talking about the things that we can't see. The things in our minds. the intangibles of reality. Intangibles of reality? What does that even mean? It was just something I read. I don't even remember where. What is it, Bastian? Oh, sorry. It's just that I need to tell you something too. Well, what is it? Tell me. Can we talk? Of course. We continue toward the big construction site down south. There are other people along the avenue, but its lanes are mostly populated by construction workers. I have a brother. I had a brother. He died in the great accident of the Ludendorff Zeppelin. Look at her shock. By the light of Hother? The famous one 10 years ago? Yes, 8 years ago now, actually. He was one of the crew members. He was in love with the skies, and it was his first flight. It was his first flight, and he died living his dream, which is, I guess, is something valuable. It is. He was obviously a very brave boy, a brother you could be proud of, Bastian. Yes, he was. I have always felt inferior to him, even now when he's been long gone. I should be the man of the family, but it's not easy. Especially when my mom is the way that she is now. What's wrong with your mom? I'd rather not talk about it. Where are we? We've drifted off from somewhere. Oh yes, we were talking about some intangibles. It sounded way too abstract for me. I don't want to get tangled up in confusing ideas. They only distract you from what's at hand. We need to focus here on the real world. We need to work and fight for the Empire, not dwell in deep thoughts. They don't get us anywhere. Action is the true source of power, not thought. She's got a point there too. This isn't like that. I drifted off to my brother because it was my brother who taught me that. But before being accepted to the Air Force, the youth program, he was all about philosophy. Oh, philosophy. But philosophy is dangerous. It puts all kinds of crazy ideas in your head. One shouldn't think about their own ego. It's the nation that counts here. You have to put your own interests aside and think about what's best for our nation. As the Emperor has said, above all, the unity of a nation's spirit and will are worth far more than the freedom of the spirit and the will of an individual. Well, I agree with that, but that wasn't my point, Nefer. My point was there are things we cannot touch, but they are still very real. I think we could all agree on that. You just mentioned what the Empire said. Aren't spirit and will also intangible? Well, I guess they are, but he's the Emperor. He knows right. He knows what's right and what's wrong. If we start to dwell on those deep thoughts, we might go horribly wrong and waste our time, or even worse, we might become rebellious. I heard it happens to some young people at the universities. You have to watch out, Bastian. Yes, you must be right. I should keep that in mind, that what we're aiming for, the final victory, nothing should stop us from getting there. The deep thoughts and ideas, maybe there's another time for them after the war is all over. Yeah, maybe so. But what good would they do you then? After the final victory, we're to grow and prosper, expand and flourish. Ideas can change. Blood and soil won't change. You win. I can't argue with you. I love talking with you, though. You're a little funny sometimes, but I know your heart's in the right place. I like talking with you too, Nefer. Does he, though? As night falls, I walk Nefer home. She lives in a very nice neighborhood, smack in the center of the city. Beautiful houses line either side of the street, trees bloom, and bright lamps stand like soldiers to light our way. Even though it's evening, it's still quite bright here. Nefer stops in front of the neoclassical building separated from the others by its grandiose style. It seems to me completely made of marble. A large statue of Anubis stands in the yard, peering at us through the thick iron gates. Well, this is where I live. It looks magnificent. Of course, I wouldn't expect anything else from the Colonel Ackerman. Nefer smiles, and she looks at me. I can't quite read her face. She seems happy and anticipating. Is she waiting for a kiss? I don't know. Is she anticipating a kiss? I don't know. Is she? She draws close. Yep, I think so. Her equaling scent wafting across my face. She gives me a kiss on the cheek. And then she jumps away as if she did something wrong, almost like a child. She runs through the yard. On the step, she turns and waves. Her smile is even bigger now, and I wave back. She really is something. Yeah, she wanted a kiss, I think so. On the walk home, I think about Nefer. I can't help but to be attracted to her. I mean, how could I not? Her childishness is adorable, her beauty is undeniable, and her character is strong. Her scent draws me in irresistibly. But at the same time, the conversation felt weird. Why was she so defensive? She makes good points, but they all seem parroted straight from the Emperor or a government official. She's so sure she's right, like there's no possibility of error. She believes in the Emperor, and of course I should too. But that's my duty. Why am I even having these thoughts? Why can't I be more like Nefer? I have to be more careful not to show my irrational emotions. They will go away in time. I just have to stop listening to them. On the other hand, shouldn't I listen to them? Even Nefer said I should follow my instincts. But what if they lead me in the wrong direction? What can I do then? I'm home. Why does it feel like life stops the minute I come in here? I have to get away. I just don't know how. The nightmares haunt me again that night. I'm in the battle again, but the dream is different. We charge towards enemy positions and it seems like we're finally going to break through. Then, without being able to control myself, I start shooting at my comrades. One by one, I take them down, and I keep shooting until I wake up. Now he's having dreams and nightmares that he's actually killing his comrades in the war. Why are the dreams getting worse? The assembly hall is exceptionally clean this morning. No stains on the floor, and crane neatly in order. Among the cleanliness, huge chain pieces lie on the floor. Wow, comes in, it's clean, huh? Good morning, Bastian. What do you think? Looks pretty clean, don't it? It does look good. I'm happy we'll be able to get right to work. I was a bit frustrated with the mess yesterday. A shrewd smile appears on Hans's face. Yes, I took care of the problem. Oh, so Hans cleaned it up so he didn't have to hear me bitching. Damn. Like, it was easier for him just to clean up the mess so I didn't see it. Wow. He just didn't want to hear me bitching. I guess I was being too negative, huh? Or I guess Bastian was being too negative. Now, let's get to work. You'll assist me today as we're building the most sophisticated machine you've dealt with so far. This is a new tank our great engineers have developed to face the nasty encounters on the front line. Unfortunately, the enemy has a tank of schnauzers our schnauzers are having trouble dealing with. We need something bigger and stronger. Once you've learned to assemble these, you'll be of real use to our troops. Yes, sir, that's excellent. How do we start? The parts are already on the floor. Get in the crane and let's assemble this beauty. Yes, sir. I'm so excited I nearly run into the crane's operator's cabin, and I've got a little surprise Hans that doesn't even know about yet. Boom. Bam. Bam. Hey, it fits. Yay. And then, of course, the... Oh, wow. That's cool. We did it, Bastion. Come marvel at this beautiful machine. She's a real beast. You can almost feel the power that she has. Hans runs his fingers across the surface of the tank. We call her the Terrier. What a beauty she is. Oh, she sure is, sir. As terriers are energetic, determined, and independent, so is she. She can travel nearly 200 kilometers on a single tank of gas and reach speeds of over 45 kilometers an hour. Damn. It's quite an achievement for a machine weighing 54 tons. No kidding. You think about a 54-ton tank. Guys, that is, that's 108,000 pounds. A ton is 2,000 pounds. So this tank weighs 108,000 pounds. And 45 kilometers an hour, that's roughly 25 miles an hour. So for a tank that weighs that damn much to be able to move 25 miles an hour, that is amazing. And to get that kind of gas mileage as well. Our enemies have nothing to match her with. That's amazing. I'm so proud of our engineers that come up with something like this. It's no surprise. Everyone knows we have the best engineers in the whole world. Long live our glorious scientific achievements. While I was at it, I made some changes in the engine. I replaced the aluminum engine block with a cast iron block. This makes the engine more reliable and more powerful. Hans is like, what? I'll report to Colonel Ackerman that you assisted me in building this machine. Dismissed. Yes, sir. What was that all about? I assisted him? But I built the tank, not Hans. I even used cast iron to make the engine better. And he didn't do anything. He's taking the credit for my work. That isn't right. I should do something about it. Wait, I gotta hold up, guys. Bastion is here working in the tank factory to do the work that's given to him. He shouldn't be making changes from changing the engine, even though it sounds better, changing it to cast iron. I don't think that's his job. He's just there to do the labor, you know, and clean up the messes and work in the tank factory and do what he's told. He's not there to make... That's a huge engineering decision for the tank. So he just shouldn't be saying, oh, I'm going to change this from aluminum to cast iron, because that's going to make it weigh a lot more. It's going to... Who knows what implications that could have. Why is Bastion making decisions like that? I mean, that's a major... It sounds better. Sure, cast iron sounds better. But that could cost people their lives out of the war. Yeah. I don't think he should be making decisions like that. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there. And I'm wondering now if Panzer Hearts is going to come back and it's going to come back and bite him at some point for making that harsh decision to try to impress Hans or whatever reason he did it. I just don't think he should be making decisions like that, and I think Joe agrees. Anyway, now he's mad because Hans is taking credit for his work. I should do something about it. I just don't know what. If I go talk to Contour, it'll make it feel like I'm trying to rise up the ranks. I need to talk to Hans. He can't treat me like this. I will go back to the assembly hall and face him directly. That'll show him he can't mess with me. I walk back to the assembly hall, full of determination. The Terrier is still where we left it. Hans is inspecting the tank and taking notes. Upon seeing him, I start to waver. Why am I angry at him anyway? He's just doing his job, and he's doing it well. We are all doing our part in the final victory. We're on the same team. I duck behind a corner, watching him. and after a moment, Hans settles his papers and starts to head my way. I now crouch behind the barrels, and as he passes me by without noticing me. As he passes me, an envelope he is carrying falls off the pile. And without hesitation, I pick up the envelope. Look at him over here hiding. I hear Hans mumbling under his breath. Finally showed that arrogant kid who's the boss around here. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is not good. I finally showed that arrogant kid who's the boss around here. Now Ackerman will see I'm the real engineer, not that chump. Who does he think he is, anyway? I've worked for years to get where I am, and I don't plan on giving it away to some spoiled brat who pissed his pants when he heard a little gunfire. Damn! Ouch! Now we know what Hans thinks of him. I am, after all, the factory sergeant of this assembly hall. I deserve better. He heard all that under his breath? Talking to himself? What is he talking about? Spoiled brat? Couldn't stand the war? I could kill him right now. There's no way I'm giving this piece of paper back to him now. Let him try to look for it on his own. What is this paper anyway? I'm going to take a look. I scramble the envelope open and look at the paper inside. Okay. Project P1000. Wow, it's a blueprint of a tank. I have never seen anything like this. It's very impressive. Everything about it looks different from any tank I've ever seen. First of all, it's huge. In the blueprint, it said it will weigh 188 tons. But that's got to be a mistake. No tank can weigh that much. How can they even manufacture parts for something so unique? Are they halting the Spitz, the Schnauzer, and Terrier productions? Yeah, now we're talking. We was already talking about the tank they just built, the huge Terrier, which weighed 54 tons. Now he's looking at plans for a tank that weighs 188.1 tons, almost 4 times the size of the Terrier. That is insane. That's 376,000 pounds, guys. It's insane. Astrid comes in. What are you doing, Bastian? Yet again, Astrid has managed to sneak up on me. Uh-oh. He's like, caught. I quickly hide the blueprint behind my back. I'm not sure if Astrid noticed or not. Are you fooling around again? You just can't grow up, can you? Hello, Astrid. I was just inspecting this barrel. We've been manufacturing problems with the barrels lately, and I think there's a mechanical failure at the plant. They're trying to pinpoint it by inspecting all the barrels for recurring faults. This one seems to be in order. I should move on to the next one. But isn't there a barrel right there? Why aren't you inspecting that one? Oh, I already inspected all of those. I'm moving to the next one here. Alright, I'll see you later. Okay. Weirdo. I walk as fast as I can, trying to get out of here before Astrid asks me any more questions. Wait, what are we doing today? Uh-oh. I was thinking maybe we should go for a picnic in the park. This is a much better question than I was expecting. That sounds great. Let's do it. Okay, I'll meet you at the zoo park under the clock tower. Sounds perfectly romantic. Romantic? Suddenly I feel awkward. Heat rises to my cheeks, and my awkwardness gets worse. Ha ha ha! I'm just teasing you. So the zoo park after the shift. Perfect. I'll see you then, Astrid. After cleaning up the assembly hall, I head to Kontar's office. I need to talk to him about Hans. Uh-oh. Frau Beller sits behind her desk. She seems to be typing. Yes. Mechanic Bastian reporting. Yes, I recognize you. Do you have a meeting with the Colonel? No, ma'am. I just figured he would be here, and I need to have a few words with him. Bastian, you still don't seem to understand the ethique and hierarchy of this factory. You can't just barge in and tell me you want to meet with the Colonel. You need to have an appointment and a specific reason for your visit. Yeah, but I just need a word. Let him in. Frau Beller flushes red, and she makes a face. Okay, you heard him. Go on in. As I head through the door, Frau Beller starts to mumble something under her breath. Yeah, she probably thinks I'm a spoiled brat, too. That boy really needs to learn some manners. Why is the Colonel treating him like this? I don't even get it. Kontar sits behind his desk, carefully examining official-looking documents. Mechanic reporting, sir. Yes, Bastian, how are you? Kontar doesn't raise his gaze from the papers. Sir, I wanted to inquire about my current progress as a mechanic. Yeah. Do you mean your assistance in building of the Terrier today? Yes, that was very good work. No faults during the test run, and the tank is already making its way towards the front. Good job with that. In the future, you might be able to construct Terriers all by yourself. Thank you, sir. This is actually what I wanted to talk to you about. I think there was some miscommunication regarding how that tank was built. Oh boy. Kontar finally lifts his eyes from his papers. What do you mean? I mean, sir, the tank was actually built by me, not by Hans. Kontar rises from his chair and walks toward me. He starts to circle me, talking very, very slowly. Bastian, you will learn that in life there are many situations where credit is not the most important thing that you should be looking for. But sir, This you should already know. Never interrupt your superior. Oh, this is not going good. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. In the military, as this factory is a military establishment, following the code of conduct is vital for a successful career here. You need to learn the chain of command. You can't always say whatever it is that you want to say. I am telling you this as a friend, not as your commanding officer. Yes, sir. That is a very good point, sir. Kontar pauses his walk. I turn to face him, and I am caught by a gaze that pierces right through me. I do not know how that tank was built today, and such small details do not interest me. You have to learn to get along with your fellow workers. Hans is a precision assembler, and he is clearly your superior. As far as the code of conduct goes, you should not step on his toes, which is exactly what you're doing by talking to me now. Yes, sir, I understand, sir. I just thought I thought I could have a new opportunity to prove my skills. You will have plenty of opportunities, Bastian. Yes, sir. Dismissed. That didn't go as he wanted, I don't think. I leave feeling a bit better. I did the wrong thing. But now I know if I just keep doing the right things, I can prove my worthiness to Kontar. And that's all I needed to hear. And Kontar's office right after Bastian's departure. Wow, we're getting some stuff that Bastian's not even hearing. Kontar's saying to himself, or saying to somebody, this is troubling indeed. For once, I hope our intel is wrong. We have prepared as much as we can. Now we just have to wait. Wow. I get to the zoo park early enough to look around for a bit. It's a huge park covering some 210 acres. It's a weird mix of natural and man-made structures, trees, stretches of grass, ponds, small waterways, and statues spread as far as I can see. The colossal zoo flak tower looms in the southwest corner of the park, one of many flak towers in Theber. The reinforced concrete shines in the sun. It must be impenetrable. 4 twin Mount 128mm flak guns inhabit the top level. As a contrast, in front of the flak tower is a large stretch of bright green grass. People are busy in the field, families having picnics, children chasing each other around. And I smile. Despite the war, life goes on. Hello, Bastian. What are you looking for? As always, Astrid suddenly appears behind me. I was just admiring the flak tower. It's quite a structure. Our enemies won't be able to get to us. Not when we have these protecting our city. I hope you're right. Look, I brought us some treats. Astrid pulls a picnic basket covered with red and white checkered cloth from behind her back. Aww. And with a flourish, she reveals the goodies inside. Pretzels, cheese, meat, and a bottle of wine, and 2 glasses. Oh, she's so romantic. She definitely likes him. The label on the wine bottle reads, Anubis Tear. Damn. Wow, where did you get this bottle? Those look expensive. I've got a friend who's a vendor. It's a gift he gave me after I helped him get his wife back. Wow. Anubis Tear is a special kind of red wine that only the priests of Anubis and the great Empire's great southern vineyards are allowed to make. Very little is known about the manufacturing process of this particular wine. A widespread rumor says soldiers' blood is mixed into the grapes before fermentation. I'm not really sure that anybody really believes that story. The wine has a distinctive creamy yet crisp taste. It has hints of a mineral slate in it, or that's what the experts say. I'm not really a wine connoisseur. Anubis Tear is known all over the world, and the people of the Empire are very proud of it. Wow, she's got a special bottle of wine. This ain't just a bottle of like $10 Walmart wine, Joe. This is good stuff. I thought I'd save the bottle for that special occasion, and you know what, Bastian? This is perfect. Yeah, I think she likes him a little bit. Again, it goes back. I don't know why. Astrid, that's such a sweet thought. I can't wait to taste it. Astrid shoots me a mischievous grin, a hint of adventure and danger. Excitement builds in my body. We pick our way across the park, passing the other picnickers to find a spot on our own. We finally find one near the canal, further from the flak tower and from all the people. Not a $5 box of wine, exactly. Astrid sets down a blanket, and I open the Anubis Tear bottle. With such a precious bottle in my hands, I can't help but feel a swell of authority. I fill the glasses with a shimmering wine and hand one to Astrid. Oh, thank you, my good man. You're welcome, my lady. To the Empire. To the Empire. We toast and smile. I bring the glass slowly to my lips. I smell it at first, and to my surprise, the smell really does remind me of slate. Grinning, I take a sip. Even though I'm not a wine expert, I know a good wine when I taste it. It's full and creamy, yet at the same time crisp and subtle. It seems to find all the taste buds in my mouth, and for an instant takes control of them. I close my eyes and dwell on the taste, and even more on the idea that I'm tasting this fantastic wine with no other than Astrid. Oh, this is really good. Yes, it is. I'm happy I'm tasting it with you. I was just thinking that, Astrid. This moment feels so perfect. So here we are in the park with the Anubis Tear. Oh, we got lucky. A good wine is hard to come by during war. It's not luck. You got the wine for us, Astrid. Ha ha ha. I love your company, Bastian. Let's just enjoy the moment. Astrid smiles at me and tilts her head, and then she leans in close to me. I swallow hard, leaning in as well, incredibly conscious of the warmth of her face. And she doesn't pull away. We're just an inch from each other when, oh no, a violent siren starts to wail. We both jump apart, startled out of our minds. The park is calm despite the siren. The people on their blankets are frozen in the moment. All the children have stopped playing, and all of a sudden, as if synchronized, everyone looks up, and someone screams, "Air raid!" In the blink of an eye, people start gathering their things in a panic. And a man says, "To the flak tower, there's shelter there!" People stampede towards the flak tower. Some shout, some are frozen in place, some push others to get there first. One woman is dragging her children so fiercely, their feet barely touch the ground. I take a few steps toward the flak tower. "Let's get to the shelter, quick!" And that, guys, is where we are going to stop. For an hour and 15 minutes, this is about the longest I want to read one of these parts. We are definitely leaving on a cliffhanger here, right when he was about to kiss Astrid, who I definitely feel like he's more in tune with than Nefer, his colonel's daughter. I definitely feel like he has a lot more in common with Astrid here. But right when they're about to get their first romantic kiss over a rare bottle of wine in the park, a perfect moment. The perfect moment is shattered by an air raid. All right, we'll continue with part 5, and I plan on doing that tomorrow under live stream under the moonshine number 225. All right, so you enjoying this, Joe? Is it getting better? Lots of laughs, cliffhanger. No, lots of laughs. Good night, Zax. Yeah, looks like it's starting to get good now. This is definitely getting better and more intense for sure. All right, I'm going to be back. I haven't played Dead by Daylight yet, guys. The new DLC just launched earlier today. Like I said, I was in bed all day, so finally rolled out of bed, feeling a little bit better. So I want to play the new DLC, the Spirit, the new Survivor, and I'll probably get to that here in a little bit. I'm going to get something to eat, and then I'll be rolling up some Dead by Daylight here on a live stream here soon. So maybe I'll see you there, Joe, if you're not already in bed. Thanks for being here, and thanks for being here, whoever else is here. And we'll see you soon, everybody. Have a good night.